I'm going to pass it over here to my left. This is Brother Issa. And Brother Issa, actually, I was really honored and privileged to actually meet Brother Issa a few months ago here actually in the lobby of our mosque. And one of the brothers from our community, a very blessed and very beautiful brother, he came up to me and he introduced me to Brother Issa, who had and I was just, from the beginning, from the moment I met the brother, he just has a big heart, right? Big heart, and he's always wanting to give back. And if you see some of the things that he's gone through in life, you would really appreciate, subhanAllah, just being a Muslim. So I don't want to give your story away too much. I was just very touched with his story. So Brother Issa, if I can have you just maybe share your journey to Islam with us in a few minutes, I would really appreciate it.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. First of all, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon all of you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I'd like to first begin with my life before Islam. My life before Islam, I'm very blessed and very grateful to be a Muslim today. And my life before Islam consisted of becoming a father at a young age. I came from San Bernardino County, and I became a father at a young age and grew up in San Bernardino County and began doing drugs and living a selfish lifestyle. I started off smoking marijuana, doing speed, coke, heroin, you name it, I did it. But alhamdulillah, you know, I'm blessed to be a Muslim today. I've been a Muslim now for about 6 years, alhamdulillah. And during my life of doing drugs and living that lifestyle, I was hustling for money. My hustling for money led to me doing robberies, doing armed robberies at stores, hitting safes. And that was the lifestyle that led to my imprisonment. I was sentenced to 15 years in prison, state prison. And upon being in prison, I picked up 5 more years. And 17 years later, I was released. And I'm here today. And I'm blessed to be able to be here with you guys today. And I thank the brother for inviting me to this program so that I can speak and let everyone know my story, alhamdulillah. My journey to Islam started in prison, and I came to a point in my life where I was praying for guidance. And I was a Christian before I became Muslim, so every time I prayed for guidance. And lo and behold, Allah placed me with a Muslim to be my cellmate. A cellmate is one that you live with within the prison walls. And he invited me to go to Ramadan. He invited me to fast, so I accepted. And I didn't become Muslim during this Ramadan. But I was blessed to be able to memorize the Al-Fatiha, and that never left me. So 2 years later, I went to another prison. And upon arriving to that prison, I seen brothers that I knew there from other places, and they invited me again to come, and it was Ramadan again. So they said, why don't you come down over here and come in and join the festivities of Ramadan. So I accepted, and I kept going to Juma every time, and I was going to Talim, I was learning with the brothers, and finally, one day I walked in and they were doing Juma, and I heard the Adhan, and that is when Allah opened my heart to Islam, and I'm very grateful for that. So I knew upon that time I began crying, everything, and I knew that Allah had finally guided me to where I needed to be, inshallah. So like 2 weeks later, I ended up taking my Shahada, and that is my journey to Islam. And I would just like to say that I'm blessed to be here, and I thank you guys for taking your time out to be able to hear my story today, inshallah.
Just to clarify, so Brother Issa, you did 17 years in state prison.
17 years in state prison.
SubhanAllah. 17 years straight. It's a long time. It's a long time, inshallah.
I've been blessed to be out here now for 2 years. I'm no longer on parole. I work for Toys R Us warehouse, alhamdulillah.
Why do you think so many Hispanics are accepting Islam?
My answer would be that it is the divine time and calling of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that there's a lot of people out there that are looking for guidance. They're searching for guidance. They're praying for guidance. From within the prison walls, I believe I was fortunate to be in there. Unfortunately, I was in there, but I was fortunate to be in there because I became who I am today, alhamdulillah. But from in there, there's a lot of Hispanics that are coming to Islam in there, and they're, gang members, all that stuff, ex-gang members. All right, I used to be a gang member, and I gave that life up for Allah, alhamdulillah. And I think that a lot of them were searching for unity and the brotherhood within Islam. And within the prison walls, we are really, really tight. We do prayer on the yard. We do prayer wherever, it doesn't matter. And we spend a lot of time with each other. We do a lot of ta'leems. We do a lot of group programs. And, in there's a lot of brothers that don't have anybody. They don't have no money. They don't have any books. So that's what they really need help with in there as well. For me, in my life, being the man that I was looking for the unity, the brotherhood, and also the structure within Islam. The structure within Islam being that within Islam we have to know that it's time for prayer, it's time to do wudu. We have to be mindful that we cannot do this, we cannot do that. And we are no longer from gangs, because if you believe in Allah, then that is the only one that you believe in, that's the only one that you trust, and that's the only one that you call upon. You don't call upon homeboys because homeboys can't do what Allah can do for you. Alhamdulillah. For the Hispanic, Latino community, I would suggest that we need to learn everything not only in English, Arabic, but also in Spanish. We need to be able to bring our family to Islam, inshallah. And I was searching YouTube the other day, and on YouTube right now, there's no Spanish teacher right now that you can go to learn in Spanish. And that's unfortunate, but inshallah, maybe one of us today could be that one that does teach. And I remind myself. And something else I wanted to say is that we must remember that we're all being seen not only by Allah, but by everybody that surrounds us every day. And we got to make sure that we're doing the right thing, because it's that one thing that could make somebody else come to Islam. And it's that one thing that you do that can make somebody not want to come to Islam. So we need to be mindful of that, inshallah, and do the right thing and forbid what is wrong, inshallah.
Inshallah, Brother Fuad, my brother with the beautiful beanie, who I'm admiring with the beanie, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. So this question is for whoever would like to join in, and the more the better in this one. So I was born and raised Muslim. My parents are from Afghanistan though. So we have a heavy cultural mixture that comes with the religion. My parents clash in that regards, where although I was born Muslim, I have a cultural clash where I try to filter out what's not part of Islam, and then what's part of Islam. Now, being that you guys are new Muslims, your clash is much more difficult than what I'm dealing with, where you're dealing with people that, let's be honest, judgmental people who come look in. You mentioned a little bit about entering the masjid, right?
Right.
That the biggest thing, every time that people looked at the Prophet ﷺ was, he doesn't have the face of a liar, people described, or they compared his face to the moon, and they would look and someone was asked, is the moon more beautiful or his face? Ultimately, it's just the impression that we give out. But how do you guys truly deal with filtering out the difference between not getting turned off by Islam when you guys first entered? Because I can't imagine how many times you guys would have turned off, like, well, that's the religion, or Islam is this way, but these people are doing this.
Right.
So what's the truth? You get is my question understood?
Yeah.
So
Who wants to take this? It's a great question. Isa? Okay.
I would say that's where the studying comes in. You know, you have to study what you believe. A lot of people say that they're Christian. They say that they're Muslim. They say that they're whatever belief that they are. But if they are not living their belief, you know, and Allah knows best, then I think that is the most important thing, to live what you believe and to do what you believe, you know. And that is practicing Islam to its fullest, not worrying about what the next person thinks. That was a big thing for me. I used to always worry about what other people thought, what other people said, and what. Once I put that to the side, you know, and it is by Allah that I put that to a side, you know, and alhamdulillah, you know, I have come to continue praying wherever I can lay my forehead at. That's where I lay it at. And I know that Allah is watching my back, and I don't have nothing to worry about, alhamdulillah. For me, I remember everything that I lost. You know, I lost a lot. I lost 17 years of my life. I got busted when I was 22 years old. I was unfortunately unable to be a father to my son and my daughter. And I recently had my daughter, me and my daughter are talking again, alhamdulillah. But when I was in prison, I lost my son. I lost my son 8 months after I became Muslim. And I thank Allah, because even though I lost my son, you know, I found Islam and I found Allah, and that was one of the biggest and hardest things for me when I was in prison. Losing my son. He was 21 years old, and he was shot in the street, and may he rest in peace. But the outlet for me was during prayer. When I was in prison, I was able to pray, and when I would do prayer, that was when I cried, and that was when I was on my knees, and I was praying to Allah for strength, and I was praying that Allah will continue to guide me. And there is nothing in the world that would make me go back to drugs. You know, I see people out here today, and they're still drinking and doing drugs and having a ball, thinking that that's life. You know, that is not life. You know, that is not why Allah put us here. But for me, I will not return to that lifestyle, and because I know everything that I lost. And I thank Allah for guiding me to Islam, and I thank Allah for me being here today. Alhamdulillah.